Discipline is the line between average and elite. Not intelligence, not talent, not opportunity. Those factors create potential. They do not determine outcome. Most people operate above minimum effort. That is enough to be average. Average is not failure, it is the default. Elite performance requires something else. It requires behavior that does not change under pressure. It requires standards that do not adjust for comfort. It requires execution without negotiation. This is what discipline does. Discipline does not increase effort, it stabilizes it. Average performance fluctuates. Some days are strong, some days disappear. Elite performance is consistent, not extreme, reliable. The difference is not visible in isolated moments. It appears over time. From the outside, elite outcomes look exceptional. From the inside, they are repetitive. Average behavior responds to circumstance. Elite behavior ignores it. Average people decide daily. Elite people decide once. That decision becomes structure. Structure removes choice. Choice introduces variance. Variance keeps results unstable. This is why the gap widens quietly. The average does enough when conditions are favorable. The elite does the same thing regardless. Not harder, not longer, the same. That sameness compounds. Discipline is not intensity. It is alignment over time. When alignment is missing, effort scatters. When alignment holds, progress accumulates. That is the line. Average lives on one side, elite lives on the other. Nothing dramatic marks the crossing, only discipline does. Talent narrows the gap early. It does not close it. In the beginning, talent creates separation. Progress appears faster. Effort feels lighter. This creates a false signal. People assume talent is decisive. They assume advantage will hold. It does not. Talent operates inside variability. It performs well when conditions are favorable. When conditions change, talent fluctuates. Motivation behaves the same way. Motivation amplifies output temporarily. It increases energy. It sharpens focus. But motivation is reactive. It depends on mood, feedback, and circumstance. When those shift, motivation collapses. This is where the gap widens. Average performers rely on internal states. They perform when they feel capable. Elite performers rely on fixed behavior. They perform because it is scheduled. Talent and motivation create spikes. Discipline creates baseline. Baseline determines outcome. Without a stable baseline, peaks do not compound. They cancel each other out. Another misunderstanding reinforces the error. People believe elite performers are more motivated. They are not. They are less dependent on motivation. They do not negotiate effort. They execute predetermined actions. This reduces variance. Reduced variance increases predictability. Predictability allows calibration. Calibration improves efficiency. Efficiency allows continuation without exhaustion. Talent without discipline creates volatility. Volatility prevents leverage. Motivation without discipline creates inconsistency. Inconsistency erodes trust. Not trust from others, trust in the system. When trust erodes, effort feels risky.
Risk invites hesitation.
Hesitation widens the gap. The elite advantage is not emotional, it is structural. They build systems that operate regardless of internal state. Talent and motivation help you start. They do not determine where you end. Discipline does. That is why the gap persists, even when ability appears equal. The line is not drawn by capacity, it is drawn by discipline. Discipline changes how behavior is selected. Without discipline, actions are chosen reactively. They respond to mood, energy, and circumstance. With discipline, actions are pre-selected. They do not require negotiation. This shift is decisive. Negotiation introduces delay. Delay introduces variance. Variance fragments effort. Discipline removes variance. When behavior is fixed, execution becomes automatic. Automatic execution reduces cognitive load. Reduced load preserves energy. Preserved energy allows consistency. Consistency allows systems to adapt. Adaptation lowers friction. Lower friction makes repetition cheaper. This is how discipline compounds effort. Another effect is often overlooked. Discipline stabilizes identity. Average performers decide repeatedly who they will be. Elite performers act from an established identity. Identity-based behavior requires no motivation. It requires alignment. Alignment does not fluctuate. This stability changes how pressure is handled. Under stress, average behavior degrades. Elite behavior persists. Persistence under pressure creates separation. Discipline also redefines failure. Without discipline, failure feels personal. It triggers emotion. With discipline, failure is procedural. It triggers adjustment. Adjustment preserves momentum. This prevents collapse. Another structural advantage emerges. Discipline enforces minimum standards. Minimums prevent regression. Average performance oscillates above and below baseline. Elite performance rarely drops below it. Baseline protection is decisive. Over time, small differences accumulate. The elite advantage is not speed, it is durability. Durability allows long exposure. Long exposure allows mastery. Mastery is not visible early, it appears inevitable later. Discipline does not make work harder, it makes work inevitable. Inevitability removes doubt. When doubt is removed, effort stops feeling risky. Risk reduction extends duration. Duration widens the gap. This is what discipline actually changes. It does not raise peaks, it raises the floor. And the floor is what determines who becomes elite. The line between average and elite is not crossed in a breakthrough moment. There is no turning point, no dramatic decision, no visible transformation. The crossing happens quietly. It happens when standards stop being flexible. Average performance allows adjustment. Elite performance does not. Average behavior responds to pressure by lowering expectation. Elite behavior responds by maintaining it. This is where the separation forms. Most people believe the line is crossed by doing more, working longer, pushing harder. That is incorrect. The line is crossed by removing exceptions. Exceptions are where averages live. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll adjust just this once. I'll make it up later. Each exception feels harmless. Together, they define the average. Elite standards do not negotiate with circumstance. They are enforced regardless of outcome, not because of toughness, because of clarity. Clarity removes decision-making. When standards are clear, behavior follows automatically. This is why elite performers appear calm under pressure. They are not deciding, they are executing. Another critical difference appears here. Average performers measure effort by feeling. Elite performers measure effort by compliance. Compliance is binary. Either the standard was met or it was not. This removes emotional interpretation. Emotion complicates execution. Standards simplify it. The line is also crossed through boredom. Elite behavior is repetitive. It is predictable. Average behavior seeks stimulation. It requires variation to stay engaged. Variation resets systems. Repetition stabilizes them. Stability creates efficiency. Efficiency creates margin.
Margin absorbs pressure.
This is why elite performance holds when conditions deteriorate. The average adapts downward. The elite holds the line. That holding is not heroic. It is habitual. Habit replaces effort. Habit enforces standards without resistance. This is the moment the line is crossed, not when motivation increases, not when talent appears, but when behavior stops adjusting to comfort. The line is crossed when discipline becomes non-negotiable. After that, outcomes diverge naturally. No announcement is made, no recognition is given, only distance accumulates. That distance is the difference between average and elite.
This requires standards that do not negotiate. You must decide what done means in advance, not when you feel capable, not when conditions are favorable, in advance. You must remove emotional permission from execution. Permission delays action. Delay introduces variance. Variance keeps you average. You must stop relying on intensity to compensate for inconsistency. Intensity creates spikes. Spikes do not build position. You must enforce minimums relentlessly, not maximums, minimums. Minimum standards protect baseline. Baseline determines trajectory. You must accept repetition without validation. Elite behavior does not feel rewarding in the moment. It feels ordinary. You must eliminate exception language. Just this once, tomorrow, I'll make it up. These phrases are where discipline dissolves. You must narrow acceptable behavior. Fewer options reduce negotiation. Reduced negotiation preserves energy. You must execute when motivation is absent, not to prove toughness, to preserve alignment. You must separate identity from feeling. Feeling fluctuates. Identity holds. You must accept that discipline will not increase excitement, it will reduce it. Reduced excitement is not stagnation, it is stability. You must stop measuring progress by emotional intensity. Emotion measures novelty, not mastery. You must allow time to do its work without interference. Interference resets systems. You must tolerate boredom without seeking stimulation. Stimulation fractures repetition. Elite performance is built where nothing feels urgent, where nothing feels special. It is built through quiet compliance with standards. This is not motivational, it is structural. Structure does not inspire, it enforces, and enforcement is what moves you across the line. That is what this requires from you.
Over time, the line becomes permanent. Average behavior produces temporary results. Elite behavior produces position. Position compounds. When discipline is absent, progress resets frequently. Each reset feels manageable. The cost is invisible. Years pass. Distance accumulates. The average stays close to the starting point, not because of lack of effort, but because effort never stabilized. In disciplined systems, the opposite occurs. Small actions repeat. Repetition lowers cost. Lower cost extends duration. Extended duration allows refinement. Refinement increases leverage. Leverage changes outcomes without increasing effort. This is why elite performance often looks effortless. The effort was paid earlier, quietly, repeatedly. Another consequence appears. Decision fatigue disappears. When standards are fixed, daily life becomes lighter, not easier, lighter. Energy is no longer spent deciding whether to act. It is spent acting. This preserves capacity. Capacity extends time horizons. Long horizons enable strategic thinking. Strategic thinking widens advantage. Meanwhile, undisciplined effort narrows options. Short cycles dominate. Long projects feel risky. Consistency feels threatening. The average adapts downward to protect comfort. The elite adapts upward by holding structure. Eventually, the difference is no longer debatable. Opportunities follow reliability. Responsibility follows trust. Trust is earned through repeated compliance, not isolated excellence. The elite are not chosen, they are filtered. Filtered by time, filtered by discipline. Those who cross the line rarely notice when it happened. They simply realize they no longer relate to how the average operates. The separation feels natural, because it is. The long-term consequence of discipline is not superiority, it is inevitability.
That inevitability is what defines the elite. The line between average and elite is not wide. It is narrow. It is behavioral. It is crossed quietly. Most people never cross it because they keep stepping back. They negotiate standards. They adjust expectations. They make exceptions feel reasonable. Each exception keeps them on the same side. Elite performance is not built on sacrifice. It is built on refusal. Refusal to lower the standard. Refusal to wait for motivation. Refusal to treat comfort as authority. Discipline does not make you exceptional. It makes you reliable. Reliability compounds. Over time, compounding creates separation that looks like talent, looks like confidence, looks like superiority. It is none of those. It is structure held long enough for results to become unavoidable. Average behavior reacts. Elite behavior repeats. Average performance depends on conditions. Elite performance ignores them. That is the line. You do not cross it by doing more. You cross it by doing the same when it would be easier not to. No announcement is made. No reward appears immediately. Only distance grows. And one day, without realizing when, you are no longer competing with the average. You are operating above it. Not because you wanted to be elite, but because discipline never let you stay average.